Let's get right into it. Number 6. Google before you think. You've been there. You're trying to assemble that new IKEA nightmare, or figure out a tricky recipe, or even just remember an actor's name. That little itch starts in your brain, but before you even spend 60 seconds properly wrestling with the problem, your hand is reaching for your phone. I'll just Google it, and Google's sitting there like a drug dealer. First search is free, kid. That immediate reflex to look up the answer is incredibly convenient. Way too convenient. Because every time you jump straight to Google, you're robbing your brain of a crucial workout. Think of problem solving like a muscle. If you never lift anything heavier than a feather, that muscle stays weak. When you genuinely struggle with a problem, even for a few minutes, your brain is firing up all sorts of connections. It's trying different pathways, accessing old information, attempting to build new solutions. Scientists talk about cognitive effort. This is the brain sweat you expend. And when you finally crack it yourself, that aha moment, your brain releases a little hit of dopamine, a reward chemical. It's your brain saying, "Good job. Let's remember how we did that." It's basically your brain giving itself a high five. Researchers are noticing that this constant reliance on instant answers might be contributing to what some call a problem-solving deficit. It's not that we're getting dumber, but we're getting out of practice with the act of problem-solving. We're becoming less tolerant of that initial feeling of confusion or frustration that's a natural part of tackling something new. Your brain won't wrestle with a difficult concept when the simplified answer is just a click away. The real world often throws problems at you that don't have a neat, Googleable answer, and if your brain's problem-solving muscles are weak, you're going to struggle. So next time you're stuck, try to resist that search-first urge for just a little longer. Let your brain flex. You might be surprised what it can do when it's not immediately handed a cheat sheet. Number 5. GPS shrinks your brain. You jump in your car, punch an address into Google Maps, and just follow that calm voice telling you, "Turn left in 200 feet. It's super convenient. But that daily convenience is quietly making a crucial part of your brain a little lazy. Deep inside your brain, there's a seahorse-shaped region called the hippocampus. It's your brain's master map maker and memory hub. This is the part that helps you build mental maps of your surroundings and remember routes. Think of the legendary London cab drivers. To get their license, they have to pass the knowledge, memorizing thousands of streets and landmarks. Studies showed that the hippocampus in these drivers actually grew larger from all that intense spatial navigation. Their brains literally rewired to handle the mapping demands. And when we hand over that mapping job to our smartphones, something changes. When you use GPS, you're just reacting to instructions. Turn left here, turn right there. You're not actively building a mental map of the area. You're not noticing landmarks or understanding how different streets connect. Your brain basically says, "Why bother drawing the map when this little device is doing all the work?" Research from McGill University suggests that people who rely heavily on GPS show less activity in their hippocampus when they navigate. It's like a muscle. If you don't use it, it can get weaker. Some studies propose that this reduced engagement could even lead to a decrease in gray matter in the hippocampus over time. Your brain is efficient. If a function isn't being used, it might divert resources elsewhere. The really scary part is a healthy, active hippocampus is vital for staving off age-related memory decline. Multiple studies now suggest that our increasing reliance on satellite navigation might put us at higher risk for conditions like dementia. We're trading spatial awareness work for convenience, but the long-term cost could be significant. And GPS isn't always the genius we think it is. In 2023, Google Maps famously rerouted dozens of drivers in Los Angeles down a random dirt road. It led them to the middle of nowhere, all because it was trying to avoid a dust storm. Sometimes, our own brain and a bit of map reading might actually be more reliable. So maybe try turning it off sometimes when you're going to familiar places. Try to actively build those mental maps. Notice landmarks. Get a little lost even. Your hippocampus will thank you for the workout. Number 4. Rewired for Impatience. We used to be fine waiting 30 seconds for a web page to load. Not anymore. These days, if a video takes more than 3 seconds to buffer, we're ready to throw our phones out the window. And it's not just you being dramatic. Your brain has literally been rewired to hate waiting. Everything in your life is instant now. You want to know who won the 1987 World Series, and Google tells you before you finish typing. You want to order food, and it's at your door in 20 minutes. You want entertainment, and there are endless videos, each one shorter than the last. Every time you get that instant result, your brain serves up a small shot of pleasure chemical. That's the feel-good chemical that makes you want more. And your brain is a really fast learner. It starts expecting everything to be that fast. Scientists have found that platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels are especially good at training your brain this way. If a video doesn't grab you in the first 2 seconds, swipe. Next. Your brain gets used to constant novelty at lightning speed. This impatience doesn't stay on your phone. It bleeds into real life. Waiting in line at the coffee shop feels like torture. Reading an actual book becomes impossible. Even watching a full movie becomes a struggle. Your brain evolved to be patient. Our ancestors would track animals for days. They'd watch the seasons change to know when to plant crops. But now your brain acts like a caffeinated squirrel, always looking for the next quick hit. The worst part is kids and young adults get hit the hardest. Their brains are still developing until age 25. The part that controls impulse and decision-making isn't fully built yet. So they're growing up in a world where waiting 5 seconds feels like forever. It's that feeling when the microwave has 10 seconds left, and you're standing there like it's been 10 minutes. That's your rewired brain screaming for instant gratification. It's not that you've become a worse person. It's that the technology you use every day has trained your brain to find any delay unbearable. You're trying to live in a world that moves at human speed, but your brain has been programmed for internet speed, and that disconnect is making you miserable. Number 3. Algorithm traps your mind. Imagine walking down a street where every shop window only displays things you already like. Every billboard shows ads for stuff you've bought before. Every person you meet only talks about topics you find comfortable. It sounds convenient. That's exactly what's happening inside your devices right now. Your social media feeds aren't showing you reality. They're showing you a carefully edited version designed just for you. These algorithms are like invisible editors running your personal news channel. They track everything you do online. Every click, how long you watch each video, what you search for, who you interact with. Then they use this data mountain to build a constantly updating profile of you. You don't see what you don't see. 2 people can search the exact same thing at the exact same moment. They'll get completely different results. Each person thinks they're getting the most relevant information, but they're actually living in separate information universes. Your brain starts expecting this personalized reality. It gets wired to prefer information that fits neatly into what you already believe. The algorithms feed you more of what you engage with. You engage with what confirms your existing views. The cycle continues. Your critical thinking muscles start to weaken. They don't need to work when everything you see already makes sense to you. Your ability to understand different perspectives shrinks. The world starts looking more black and white than it really is. You rarely see the nuances anymore. You miss the common ground between opposing views. Every click makes the walls of your echo chamber a little thicker, a little more soundproof. You're being trained to live in a reality constructed just for you, and you probably don't even realize what's being kept outside those invisible walls. Number 2. Boredom fuels brilliance. You're waiting in line at the grocery store. The first thing you do is pull out your phone. We've become masters at avoiding one thing: boredom. By constantly swiping and scrolling, your phone is secretly shutting down one of your brain's most powerful modes. You probably can't remember the last time you were truly, mind-numbingly bored, because the moment boredom even thinks about appearing, your phone rescues you with notifications, videos, and endless feeds. But your brain actually needs boredom. Scientists discovered that when you're bored, when your mind wanders, a special network in your brain kicks into gear. It's called the default mode network. Think of it as your brain's creative engine room. When you're not actively focused on a task or doom scrolling, this network lights up. This network starts connecting distant ideas. It replays memories and mashes them up with new information. It works on problems in the background. This is where those aha moments come from. Your brain isn't being lazy when it wanders. It's actively exploring and creating. But our constant connection to technology trains our brains to be terrified of empty moments. We're interrupting this crucial creative process hundreds of times a day. It's like constantly poking a sleeping genius, never letting them get to the good stuff. Boredom isn't a void. It's actually a signal that you might need to change something or explore new avenues. But if you're always plugged in, you miss the signal. So next time you feel that urge to grab your phone during a few seconds of stillness, try resisting. Let your mind drift. You might be surprised by the brilliant ideas your brain cooks up when it's finally allowed to be bored. Number 1. Phone drains your empathy. You've scrolled past a friend's sad post and just kept scrolling. Maybe you dropped a crying emoji, but you didn't actually feel anything. If you've noticed yourself caring less about other people's problems, you're not imagining it. Your phone might be rewiring your brain to be less empathetic. Scientists are tracking a disturbing trend. Our ability to understand and share other people's feelings is dropping, especially in younger people who grew up with screens everywhere. Dr. Sarah Conrath studies empathy and altruism. Her research shows that as screen time goes up, real-world empathy goes down. Your brain evolved for face-to-face interaction. When you talk to someone in person, your brain processes tons of information: their tone of voice, tiny facial movements, body language, even their smell. All these signals help you understand what they're really feeling. Online, you get text and maybe an emoji. It's like trying to understand a movie by only reading subtitles. Your brain isn't getting the data it needs to fire up those empathy circuits. Your attention span is also getting destroyed. You're texting while watching videos while checking emails. When your mind bounces around like a pinball on espresso, you can't focus long enough to process someone else's emotions. You need mental quiet to truly empathize. Behind a screen, people say things they'd never say face to face. No immediate consequences, often anonymous. It's easier to be dismissive or cruel. Your brain learns that online interactions don't need the same emotional sensitivity as real ones. Your screen isn't just showing you things, it's actively teaching your brain new ways to interact, and that could be changing your ability to connect with real people right in front of you. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.